Tonight we're playing my most anticipated RPG of 2023. This is a game from Two Little Mice. It is a game about little fantasy creatures that live in a house, much like the Littles, or I forget what the other movie that it's based on, or that you can kind of base this on. It's a super fun system. It's a D6 system, rules light. If you love like Year Zero engine type systems, this is a game you probably want to take a look at. The setting's really unique. It's got some beautiful art. Right now, it's available on PDF on Drive through RPG. There's some source books as well coming for it. There's even a free quick start, so check it out in the description below. Give it a download. The quick start's like 90 some odd pages all by itself, and it's plenty of game to kind of just download and play all alone. But trust me, you're going to probably love the whole setting and the whole rules, and you'll want to pick up the whole PDF. And then eventually it's coming out in physical later this year as of this recording. So stick around. We're playing Household by Two Little Mice. I'm so excited. Hey everyone, welcome to Victory Condition Gaming. My name is Doug. Today on the show, we're playing Household from Two Little Mice. This game was on Kickstarter last year. Super excited about featuring it on the show. It's well overdue. Probably should have had it on months ago, but of course with life and everything going on, it's always hard to get certain games on the show. But I'm super pumped to finally give this a showcase. This is a really great game. The books are going to be phenomenal. They're coming out later this year. This is also the team that put out Broken Compass, which is a similar system, and they're gonna have some other projects later on this year that I think people should really take a look at. And I put their link to their website down in the comments, so go check them out. But in the meantime, let's just bring on our cast. And I'm going to tell you that if you are a fan of Household, please hit that like button down below. If you back the Kickstarter, let me know in the comments. If you enjoy this actual play, please consider subscribing if you're not a subscriber. That's all there is. We do all sorts of content here on the show, so we greatly appreciate it. And we greatly appreciate the cast that gives us their time to come on and play these games. I've got Josh, Em, and Katie with us tonight. Thank you so much for coming on and playing Household.
It is literally my pleasure. Thank you so much for inviting us.
Well, yeah, absolutely. There's a couple player characters here that, as I was reading the quick start, I immediately was like, oh, this is a Josh character. Oh, this is an M character. And then like I'm pretty sure Katie would probably love to play in this setting because it seems like something up her alley. So let's reach out to Katie and play, and I think we're gonna have a good time. At least I hope you do. And let me know, if people in the comments, let me know if you think when we show these characters, if you totally agree with my selection on Em and Josh's characters, because I feel like they just screamed like that they need to be played by those two players. So basically there's a whole lot of lore to this game. We're just kind of gonna gloss over it. There's fairies, there's like insect type creatures, there's creatures that bulk up and get big and kind of hulk out. It's a phenomenal setting. It reminds me of a show called The Littles that I used to watch when I was in the 80s, as like these little mouse creatures that lived in the walls that I think the kid was able to see, but the parents couldn't see for some reason. Almost like Fraggle Rock, almost to a point.
The Borrowers.
The Borrowers. That's the one that I was trying to think of at the intro, and I could not think of it. Thank you. Yes. And evidently, this game was out in Italian, and they kickstarted an English translation of it. So I'm really excited, and the book is beautiful. It's got some gorgeous art, I just can't wait to see the actual physical copies because the PDFs are astounding. Yeah, all right, that's all I'm gonna do for right now. Let's get to our actual play and get started. This is let me bring up my notes. Of course, it all takes place, like I said, in this house. that you all kind of live in, and each floor kind of has its own kingdom. There's actually like a kingdom in the bathroom, which is called Tuberville. There's a kingdom upstairs in the bedroom, and the bed is its own like thing. And then like even in the living room, there's a place called the Hearth where they kind of worship the warmth, and there's even a toppled Christmas tree that's like a forest that it's amazing. It's amazing, and we'll show some illustrations as we get going. But yeah, anyway, let me set up the scene. This is called Pride, Prejudice, and Centipedes. This is the adventure in the Quick Start. So if anybody downloads Quick Start, you'll be introduced to this scenario in particular. So there will be spoilers. So just know that if you plan on running this or playing this, you're going to know a little bit of most of the adventure by the time the session is over. By the side of the great stairs, there's an entry hall. It opens up onto the short hallway. There's a merry little Hearthish village known as Stairside. This rural landscape here seems to exist outside of time. The many mouse ranches and vast farmlands are sure to charm any traveler passing through. And there, tucked away in the dusty streets of Stairside, there's an old-timey tavern. The creaking wooden sign has certainly seen better days. This still happily announces the Blue Rat. Our littlings, which are your characters, are gathered here. But why? So at this point, what I will have you do is I will have you introduce your characters, and I'll show them on screen, and then we'll kind of talk about why they're all gathered there at the Blue Rat. Josh, I'll let you go first. How about that?
Okay. So, sorry, I got to make my notes here a little bigger. So for many years, I was forced to work as a bodyguard for an old, evil littling. And I'm a slugga. I believe that's how it's pronounced. And I wanted to leave that kind of life behind. But I had no choice. I was bound by a great debt that I could not pay. So I was stuck in servitude for many, many years. But fate finally gave me a chance. And I rescinded that contract and finally began a new life.
Nice. That is another thing about this game, is that all the types of characters have like this some sort of contract that they bind to. It could be a written agreement, or they stake their name on it, or they give their word, and that if they break those things, then they suffer some terrible things, which maybe we'll find out here in this session. Em, I'll let you go next. How about that?
Sure. So, sweet, polite, beautiful, caring, and supportive, young Hannah has always been a pole star for her little siblings. Her lifelong dream is to become a famous animal handler, and some time ago she left the family farm near Glassburg together with her adorable bumblebee Bonbon to chase it. I'm ready to solve every problem that comes my way with grace, good manners, and maybe a little bit of help from my fluffy pet bee.
Excellent.
So cute.
And Katie, would you like to introduce your character?
Yeah. I am playing Sienna Blackwell. Like many boggarts in her generation, Sienna had to grow up fast. She learned growing up that you have to seize the moment, and if you really want something, you just have to take it for yourself. Her smug demeanor cost her the love of her girlfriend, but Sienna still believes that it's better to ask for forgiveness rather than for permission. I can always get myself out of any trouble, and I'm always one step ahead.
Nice. I love it. And do you want to, y'all want to explain why you're all together at the Blue Rat?
That's a great question. I think Hannah has come to make some connections. She's in a new part of the world, and she doesn't have a whole lot of friends yet. And she's hoping to find people that can help her grow and achieve that lifelong dream.
Excellent. And Tubo, what about you? You're just it's an inn, so it's like an inn, so maybe you're just partaking in some.
No, I think
Mm-hmm.
that after leaving, that evil lord behind, I'm looking for that new to surround myself with good vibes and energy, and I need to find some friends that I can protect instead of doing evil deeds. I want to do good deeds, and I want to do good things. So I'm here to hopefully do some good
Sure.
and chug back a few.
Yeah, maybe check back for you. All right. Okay. And Sienna, what's Sienna doing at this with Tubo and Hannah?
Oh, well, Hannah's fresh meat who needs a little exposure to the world, I think.
right.
And
Sure.
Tubo could help with that, and I'll just lead the way.
Absolutely. All right. So yeah, as you're at the inn, you're just kind of chilling there, taking in some drinks and some having some laughs, kind of talking between the three of you. Behind the bar, cleaning the glasses is an old boggart named Old Abbott, who is the owner of the inn, the Blue Rat, and he's got a friendly tone, and he always comes up and he kind of looks at you and kind of raises his glass and smiles, and it's like, good to see you here today.
Hi, it's good to see you too.
A pleasure, really.
Thank you so much for patroning the Blue Rat. Please, if there's anything I can get for you, just let me know. If you'd like to put in an order into the kitchen, my granddaughter's cooking some wonderful food. So if there's anything of your fancy, just let me know, and I will make sure to ask her to whip it up for you and bring it out if that's something that you desire.
I would love a good hot meal.
Ah, yes.
And could you have a sweet treat for my little bonbon here?
Oh, look at that! Oh, it's a bee right there, isn't it?
So friendly and fluffy. Do you want to pet her?
Sure. I would be. Oh, look at that! Oh, he's so.
The
Oh,
little antennas rubbing against the hands.
It's too sickly sweet. This is disgusting.
oh.
More drinks.
Oh, sure. Fine, sir. Is there anything that you would particularly enjoy for a meal?
Oh, well, I'm used to eating, dust mites and, whatever
Ah, okay.
my old job would throw at me. So, anything above that
Sure. I
would be
will
great.
yell into the kitchen.
No bed
Ooh,
bugs. I'm not
no.
into that.
Oh, of course not. No. Of course not. Go. Have a seat at one of the tables, and I will call Elizabeth. Make some rub up real quick for us. Or we've got guests here that are rather hungry. And you hear a little faint voice that says, "Yes, grandfather, I'm glad to."
She sounds like a treasure. And thank you.
Oh, you're quite welcome. Oh, okay. She's marvelous. She's just a sweetheart.
Well, we'll get out of your way and find a table.
Yes, go ahead. Yes, I'm going to finish cleaning these glasses and put them away. And yes, feel free to mill among the patrons in the tavern here, and feel free to make yourselves at home. Your food will be out shortly.
Okay, thank you. Come on, friends, let's go.
Aye.
Yes, lead the way, Hannah.
Oh yeah, Hannah's absolutely gonna just flit right into this crowd of people, and she doesn't know how to start a conversation, but she's just smiling at everybody who meets her gaze.
Sure. What about Tubo? Is he going to?
Tubo's just he's a little nervous because he's not been around, excitement like this, and but he's doing the casual thing. He's just kind of looking, observing, listening to the chatter that's going on.
Sure. Sienna, what are you doing at this point?
Sienna's being more personal with her greetings, of course. Hand around the shoulder and definitely not down a pocket. Or two, or all of them.
All right.
Friendly.
Is there anything in particular that you're searching for? Just valuables or?
Yeah, just, whatever my hand grazes.
Okay.
I mean, doesn't graze. I am just welcoming people. All dear friends.
All right. Yeah, you kind of go through the tavern, and all of a sudden the doors to the tavern flip open, and in walks in marches, I should say, a handful of soldiers from the great Imperial Army of the realm, and kind of a cold draft blows in with them, and all of a sudden they start going from table to table. They're kind of pushing things aside, looking around, and they say, "Yeah, please remain seated. Please remain seated." Old Abbott kind of gets startled, and he's like, "Oh, what's going on here?" And they're still just kind of walking around the tavern, kind of looking around at people, kind of moving things away, kind of looking for something.
Sienna is artfully moving with the soldiers so they can't pinpoint her.
Sure.
Is there perhaps something that we can help you find?
And one of them kind of glances at you real quickly and just kind of keeps looking around. Kind of goes over to each table and kind of looks around and around. Yeah, and then all of a sudden, there is a more prestigious soldier who you would probably think is the leader, walks through the front door and just announces to everyone, "Attention, I am Lieutenant Darcy. Please, everyone, remain seated and cooperate with us. We are here to investigate under orders." Let me just. We're here under orders from the gamekeeper Jean-Claude Van Claude of Mount Gunal. And then that's when Darcy hands Mr. Abbott a search warrant, and then starts to kind of look around the tavern and kind of looks down on everybody and just like, no, yes, let me see here.
I'm kind of curious. Can I go over to the innkeeper and ask him what it says on the warrant?
Sure. Yeah. He goes over. You go over to Mr. Abbott, and he's just like, "Yeah, it's a search warrant. They're looking for. Looks like they're looking for some individuals that may be causing something that just says that they're looking for somebody or something. I don't know."
I'm gonna turn to look at Sienna. So, is it you?
What?
Is it you?
Shh.
Okay.
We are mere patrons here.
Okay. That's fine. And I'm gonna look around, and can I notice anybody who's looking guilty? Maybe.
No, everybody kind of looks startled and kind of nervous. They're just kind of they're not really sure, how they're just like, everybody reacts like this. It's like, why are you questioning us? We're not doing anything.
Sir, I'll address the person who looks in charge.
Yeah, Darcy, Lieutenant Darcy.
Hi, I was hoping if you could perhaps tell us who you're looking for so we could speed up the search.
Excuse me, do you have your identification papers, please?
Yes, of course. 1 moment here, and I'll dig through my little satchel and pull out my ID and hand it over with 2 hands.
Yes. Are you traveling with anybody in particular? How long have you been in the area?
I'm quite new to the area, sir, and my friends are merely acquaintances.
Oh, you have friends here.
Yes,
Sienna is going to slip away while he's looking at
I'm
those
not
documents.
sure where they are, but there's Tubo. You can tell because he's so tall. Tubo.
Yeah.
Tubo, if that's your name. May I see your identification papers, please?
Identification. Hang on. Do I?
For all I know, you could be the reason for this investigation, and maybe I can bring you back to the station.
What? That seems a bit presumptuous, sir. Perhaps we could talk this out before, you haul away somebody who's not guilty, and then the guilty party gets away.
Turbo looks a little nervous because he's definitely out of his comfort zone.
Please, you're stressing my friend out. And may I roll like an eloquence maybe to calm this man's nerves?
Sure, you can do that. Absolutely.
Do you want to explain how rolls work?
Let's show it off a little bit. So every character has a character sheet, which makes sense. So you have 4 core attributes. You have society, academia, war, and street. Then you have skills based off those. You have up to 2 ranks in each attribute, and then you have up to 4 ranks in the skill. And basically you're rolling 6-sided dice with your attribute and your skill level, and you're looking to make pairs. You make pairs, 2 of a kind. That's usually a standard success or basic success. You roll 3, it's I believe it's an exceptional success, and if you roll 4, it's a exceptional, a critical success. Or there's certain terminology for each one, but usually a normal or basic degree of success is usually a pair, and then 3 of a kind, 4 of a kind, 5 of a kind is definitely greater success, and usually you get to do a little bit more with the greater successes. Also, if you look at the top of the character sheet there on the screen, it says aces up the sleeve. You have start out the session with 2 aces to your attributes, and you can use those attributes. You can use those aces to do a couple things. You can gain 1 die to your pool when rolling a skill. You can reuse a move, or you can change your approach. So basically, you can do that. And then there's also jokers in this game, which are kind of like wild cards for aces. And you can use those to get an extreme success and just not have to roll the dice at all. You can save a friend. Basically, if a friend's injured and has to bow out, you can use that joker to save them, or you can just kind of use it as any kind of ace that you have. So just know that you have 2 aces, and they're pretty important. And then when you have like usually the GM lets you kind of give aces out at random for like really great ideas and so on and so forth, kind of like story points in some situations or some systems. I feel like we should let the viewers give aces out for this. So if anybody's watching and you want to give aces out for a really exceptional idea that comes along, feel free to let us know in the chat, and we'll try to keep an eye on that. And so yeah, Hannah, how did you roll?
So I actually had a question. Did you want me to roll my charm to make a good impression, or my eloquence to convince him of something? Well,
it's up to you. I'll let you take the choice. How about that? I'm pretty lenient GM. I'll let you whichever you think you want to use most.
I'm going to use my charm then. So like just make that good impression, understand that he can trust me, type of a deal.
Okay.
Let's roll this. I got a 2, 4, 5, and 6. So that's no successes.
That's not. Now you do get an immediate reroll if you want to.
I actually get a free reroll with my cute little bumblebee because he's just so adorable, buzzes right up next to me, that they allow me to have another roll. And I got 1 success on that.
Okay.
2 successes.
Yeah, what are you trying to do? You're trying to just kind of charm this Lieutenant Darcy?
Trust me. He doesn't need to like be suspicious of us because we're just good people. At least I am.
Yeah, he kind of looks at you and he kind of realizes that you're kind of young and kind of inexperienced, and there's just no way that you'd probably be able to. You'd be doing the thing that he's investigating these people for, and he just kind of just looks at you, and then he kind of eyeballs Tubo, and he's like, "What this guy over here?" And just as he kind of eyeballs Tubo and kind of makes him kind of uncomfortable. This young Bogart from the kitchen bursts out of the kitchen, and all of a sudden he stares at her, really unimpressed, and he says, and she says, "Lieutenant Darcy, this attitude is insulting. You should leave this tavern this instant." I'll put a picture of her up there. Look at that. And he kind of looks at her real kind of coldly, and he's not really impressed with her. But he says, Miss Elizabeth, please refrain from making a scene here. We're on official business. And then they start to kind of bicker back and forth, and you can kind of you can just hear them kind of make snarky responses at each other, just trying to one up each other more than anything else.
I'm gonna take Tubo by the arm and like start pulling him away.
I'm just kind of like, when they start bickering at each other and he turns his gaze away from me, I'm like, oh, I'm not good in social situations. You put me in a fight, I'm good. Put me in a social situation, I'm going to be awkward, stumble it. I feel weird, but I wipe the sweat from my brow. I go with Hannah, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go over here. Yeah. And keep an eye on things.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to stress you out. I think that we should probably find Sienna. I'm really worried that she's the one they're looking for.
What's Sienna doing at this point?
Sienna is probably near the back at one of the tables, but now she's like really interested in the bickering that's going on. So she's leaning on a table, just like casually there, like, this is interesting.
Do you want to try to? So you're trying to like kind of figure out what they're arguing about. You're kind of focusing on that. Give me an insight and academia roll.
Oh yeah, I'm good at that. Sure. Ooh, 3 of a kind, critical success.
Nice, excellent. Yeah, okay, that's awesome. Yeah, you kind of hear them bickering back and forth. You basically you hear that Darcy says, he's just saying, Miss Elizabeth, this investigation is very important. I have to do my job here. You need to understand that several heads of livestock, mostly hunting mice, have gone missing from the nearby farms, and I have been ordered to find the thief. And he's like, kind of like boasts up, puffs up his chest, like they chose me to do this. And that basically from listening, since you've got that critical success, we'll say that you also kind of take in that Elizabeth doesn't think that these missing livestock are because of littlings. You think that it's mostly that she thinks that it's mostly some wild beast that's probably responsible for it. and you think, and she thinks that Darcy is just like some sort of prejudiced, fool that doesn't like the littlings in the tavern, and that he's just out to blame somebody so in that way, it just makes him looks good.
Okay. You do with that information. Can I pickpocket the papers of the person next to me?
Sure. What you want to pickpocket the what are you looking for in particular?
Their papers. I'm gonna.
Their identification.
Identification.
Papers?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Give me kind of a roll for that.
So I'll do dexterity because I get a +1 dexterity to steal something from someone.
Okay. All right.
That's 6 dice. And that's a basic success. I got a 2 of a kind.
Okay. Yeah, we'll say that you kind of you swipe the papers out of their pocket.
And then I'm gonna pull a quill out, and then I'd like to use illusion to doctor a different name onto there.
Yeah, I'll say that you don't have to roll for that. We'll just say that you do it, and you do it without them seeing you do it, and yeah. What would you? And then all of a sudden, Darcy kind of comes over, and he's like, "Are any of you three responsible for these thefts that's going on?"
No, Captain. No. It's startling, but I'm an official here I could help you, and so could these two. She'll produce identification that says she's an expert at finding things. All
right. He looks at the papers and just kind of
the name's Veronica.
Veronica. And what are you doing here, Veronica, with these taverners?
Oh, well, we were stopping in for food because, we travel quite a bit and go from job to job. We're just tired, but it sounds like that you're in need of some expertise.
I could definitely need some. If you want to aid this investigation, yes, you can come by the barracks, and the sooner we can catch this thief, the sooner we can forget about all of this nasty business. Good day. And he just kind of nods his head and kind of...
Oh, Captain.
Yes.
Wait.
Yes.
Is there a reward? I'm sure that there's, some kind of compensation, yes?
The compensation is knowing that you have done good for the kingdom and that the hunting mice are going to be safe from here on out.
Right, of course. Safety.
Yes.
We'll negotiate the rest later.
Yes.
The poor little mice. Do they have handlers that are now looking for them?
I'm sure that they are. Yes, I'm sure they are. They are definitely very valuable commodity here in this kingdom. So yes, I would assume that there's definitely people that are taking quite good care of them, and to see them not be where they should be, and hopefully nothing has bad happened to them would be
heartbreaking.
Quite unfortunate.
That's heartbreaking. Well, who was the last people to see them? We should start talking with them instead of searching random bars.
Well, we'll that's all well and good. I've got to go do some more investigating first before I take anything else. And he kind of gives a little whistle and kind of makes a little motion, and all of the soldiers kind of that were in the tavern that were looking and kind of questioning others all kind of stop, kind of look at him, and start to proceed out of the tavern. And he said, feel free to come to the barracks, and if you would like to help me later on this afternoon, and we'll see what we could do. And he says, good day. And he kind of looks at the tavern, and kind of, you can see him kind of look at old Abbott and kind of give him a little nod, and then his eyes meet Elizabeth, and he just kind of looks at her kind of coldly, and then kind of turns around and proceeds to go out the door. As he goes out the door, Elizabeth, kind of under her breath, says, "Foolish chestnut head of a soldier who won't listen to reason." And then she goes back to the kitchen and kind of swings the doors violently, as or not violently, but with great, very animatedly. She swings the doors as she goes back into the kitchen.
Do you think they like each other?
I think it's more than that. I think they
have so much main text.
Yes.
I love.
I turn and make barfing noises.
Perhaps we should talk. Tubo, you brat. But I think maybe we should talk to Elizabeth and make sure she wouldn't be mad if we went and helped Mr. Darcy.
It sounds like she might have some more information that they aren't aware of.
Possibly. Yeah, let's go talk to her.
Let's go, Veronica.
Yeah. So you go back. Are you going to just go back into the kitchen? And old Abbott just kind of smiles at you, and he starts wiping down his glasses again, and starts putting them in. And he just kind of gives you the
go ahead.
Go. And as you go out to the kitchen, you see Elizabeth kind of taking some pans out of the oven and some pots, and she kind of jumps a little bit, and because she kind of burns her hands, and kind of just slams it down onto the stove real quickly. And she wasn't really thinking. You can definitely tell she's just kind of distracted from everything that just went on, and she's not kind of paying attention. And she's definitely, she's got stains on her apron, and she just keeps mumbling under her breath almost. You can hear kind of Lieutenant Darcy and just kind of some not really derogatory names, but just kind of saying that he's kind of a fool and that he needs to smarten up and all
that. Miss Elizabeth?
And she's like mixing something in a pot, and she's kind of startled because she was just so entranced in her thoughts about everything that went on. She's just kind of startled. She's like, "Oh yes, how are you? Is your food to your liking?"
"Oh, we haven't received it yet. My name is Hannah."
"Oh, hello, Hannah."
I couldn't help but notice the ruckus from before. Are you okay?"
"Yes, I'm fine. I'm fine. Yeah, it's just, just some people."
"Did that tall, handsome fairy know why was he searching here?"
"Handsome? Gross. Oh, he's not handsome."
He's
I could see some, littlings might find that handsome. I totally get it. He's tall and he's authoritative, and he's like well groomed, and he's got those really beautiful wings that just kind of sparkle.
Oh, tell us more.
And his eyes that just kind of sparkle too, and I just kind of get. I mean, no, it just no, I can't. Don't like that.
Oh, repulsive.
So, yeah,
gross.
Well, why would he search here, do you think? It just seems like an odd first place to look.
Well, you see, he's just looking for someone to blame, just some country littling, so he can push the blame on, and because that's what soldiers like him like to do, and he just won't listen.
Well, do you really think that Mr. Darcy would be like, Lieutenant Darcy would be like, or do you think he's really concerned about those mice?
I think he's just looking to get ahead, and he's just looking to blame any of us on it and proceed to make himself look good so that he can get a better position in the kingdom. And yeah, so that's all he's about. He's just about, trying to try to be the good soldier that everybody looks up to, and he's
good, handsome soldier, right?
Well, it's a handsome soldier in a really nice looking uniform that, with the
Maybe he's
really
just
nice
trying to
hair.
save people.
Oh, no, he's not trying to save people. He's literally, I know people like him all the time. Believe me, I know because I hear things. I hear things at night. It's not a country littling that's causing these disappearances.
Oh, then what is going on?
Well, there's first of all, listen to me here. There's no way that a littling could have carried away all that livestock unseen, right? There's just no way. They couldn't hide it. There's no way they could hide it. And if someone were to carry, say, like this, like your friend here, who's rather tall and muscular, this gentleman
as
right
she
here.
says this, I've got my finger in one of the pots, and I go to put it in my mouth. Awkward.
If he were to carry a mouse or mice out of this, yes, out of the stables, don't you think someone would see him, and don't you think he would struggle with that along the way, and eventually it would cause a ruckus for everyone to hear, and therefore no one would be. There's just no possible way. Plus, I've heard roars in the middle of the night. Come on.
Roars. I don't know, Tubo. Do you think you could carry that many things out?
Without being seen.
If it's dark outside.
The only way for me to truly test that theory is to go to the location itself and see if it's possible.
I totally agree. I think that the next the next logical place to go would be where the mice were found missing. But does Darcy think that that's a good place to go? No, he does not. He thinks going around investigating every little country littling that has nothing to do with it is a good way to waste his time. His
beautiful
time. Wonderful time that nobody would really want to. I mean, I wouldn't want to waste time with him. It just,
of course not. No.
Yeah, of course. I've got much better
Miss
things
Elizabeth?
to do.
I'm going to interrupt her. Miss Elizabeth?
Yes.
And I grab her hands in mine. We will investigate this for you, not for him. And we'll show him that he can't treat country littles like this. Oh. I'm from the country, and we don't deserve to be treated that way. And perhaps you can gain some of his respect, and he can apologize to you for being so rude.
He's never going to. He's never wrong. You know people. You know men like him. They always think they're right no matter what.
I don't think Lieutenant Darcy is like that, right? He was nice to me when he saw my little bumblebee. I think it's really cute when tough people like little things. Don't you?
I mean, it was kind of adorable how he just kind of melted off that facade that he has usually, and you could see the kindness in his eyes, and they just kind of sparkled when they looked at your bumblebee. So cute, and it was just so cute for a split second, but then he went right back to being his normal soldier face, and he's just the top of the line jerk that
so
that
grouchy
is. Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
Elizabeth, you mentioned that there was roaring.
Yes, I don't. I hear
What did it sound like?
It almost sounds like a snarl, or
could you demonstrate it?
Sure. It just kind of sounded like.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I will remember that. I might return later if we can, of course, find a roar like that.
It kind of echoes down the street, and it's funny that Darcy doesn't think that that's a concern. I've told him a few times. He's come in here a few times, and I've gone out of my way to make sure to tell him that I hear things in the middle of the night. But typical.
You go out of your way to tell him that you're scared at night?
Well, who else am I supposed to report it to?
Because he's big and strong, Hannah.
That's a really good point. Okay. You've given me a lot to work with here. And do you know where these mice have gone missing from for us to start our investigation?
If I were to guess, I would say that you would probably want to go to the stables of the Hearth's Army barracks at the Horde Embassy.
At the Horde Embassy. I don't think that's too far from here, is it?
It's not. It's a few streets over, and you just keep going down, and then take a left, and then take a right, and then go past the acorn hut there, and that is right there in the corner, and it's. If you get lost, I'm sure you can just ask somebody along the way. They'll be able to find you.
And that's where Darcy wants to meet us, right? At the barracks?
No, you see, the barracks are his office because, he always has to have everybody meet him at the office because he's the soldier and, he's the lieutenant and he has to make sure that everything is by the book and, just kind of throw out that he's the one in charge. And so, you can't just meet anywhere. You have to meet at his office.
Of course. Well, we're gonna go. Can I take this? What is this? Like a pot pie for Tubo?
Yeah,
He's very hungry.
Sure, absolutely. I was making
as
this.
I'm cramming bread and stuff in my mouth already, like dipping.
Sienna's
it in the pot.
stuffing rolls. Yeah, she's next to Tubo taking rolls.
That's hilarious. Like we're having this conversation and absolute thievery is happening behind me in the background.
Oh, it's not even thieving for me. It's just.
Oh yeah, Tubo. Sienna's it's so handsome. Yes.
So as you ask, and do you stop mid face stuffing and just kind of okay and
let it kind of drip down and you hear the little plop as it hits the pan again. And it's like, don't mind me.
Elizabeth just kind of oh dear, here you must have such a hearty appetite. Here, and she hands you a pie all for yourself, and she's like, "Oh, please enjoy this and take what you take anything that you need here that's ready."
My face goes right in it.
Nice.
You have pleased our dear Tubo.
Excellent. Well, I'm so glad that you enjoy my cooking. Darcy comes in and he asks for the special every day, and I think
he knows his favorites, right?
I think he enjoys my cooking, but he doesn't actually tell me. It'd be nice if he actually told me that he enjoyed something that I made, but no, he's probably just thinks he's too important to, give compliments to a country littling like myself. But it wouldn't hurt him to actually compliment me every once in a while.
Oh, but his stoicism in it. That's wonderful.
I mean, some people would definitely find that attractive. I don't. I don't. Of course, I don't. No, I don't find that attractive at all.
You like the sensitive, never.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I like people that that communicate their feelings and tell others how they feel and what they appreciate. Not some loudmouth know-it-all.
Well,
hunky.
it just takes one person to start the communication.
Yeah. Well, I've started it plenty of times, and you know what?
You'll probably do it again.
I will probably have to keep doing it.
Well, don't worry. If we figure this out, we'll set this stubborn man straight, and maybe he'll just never bother you again.
That would be great. Yeah, that would be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I don't. I wouldn't hate that at all. That would not be.
Well, then we better go get started.
Yeah. Oh,
so
absolutely.
that you never have to look at him again.
Oh, I mean,
and deal with his.
I would hate for his patronage to leave the tavern because my grandfather kind of
He needs
enjoys
the coin.
right,
right?
absolutely,
course.
absolutely. You know, it's not that I enjoy seeing him here. It's just that maybe if we didn't have his meals every so often that he pays for, it wouldn't be less coming in, and there'd be less for me to cook, and I would
You
be
wouldn't
kind of
want
out of a
that,
job.
Hannah.
We can't have that happen.
Of course. Well,
Yes.
this seems like a delicate balance of never talking to him again while still having his patronage. But we'll figure it out. Don't you worry.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Goodbye, Miss Elizabeth.
Goodbye. Good luck to you. If you need me, just give me a holler. I'm right here in the kitchen,
Mhm.
because I'm glad that somebody's listening to me and not that dumb old jerk of a lieutenant that doesn't give me the time of day, doesn't listen to anything I say. I hate so stupid. And she just starts muttering to herself, and she's washing goes back to mixing something in the mixing bowl.
That was a lot, and I loved it. Yeah, that was so good. Thank you,
Excellent.
Doug, for that beautiful
You're quite
scene.
welcome. You're quite welcome.
Do we all want to go investigate?
Yeah.
I look up from my pie plate as we're walking out, and I go, Yep.
Sienna grabs a towel or a hand towel thing as
Okay.
we walk out, and she just tosses it at Tubo as we go.
Just ignore it and keep going.
Awesome. Where would you like to go? Would you like to go to the stables of the Harse Army barracks?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you get to the stables, and you see some you see kind of a troop of soldiers of the Great Blade, and these are littlings that wear helmets and they sport mustard colored uniforms, and they don't really look very eager to let people through.
We might have to go talk to what's his name first to get authorization to investigate. I'm gonna go try and talk to them first before we have to do that.
Okay.
Sienna's gonna hang back and have a completely different plot.
Of
while
course.
Hannah does that.
Of course. I'll approach, and I'm carrying my bonbon in front of me like a ball.
Okay.
And I smile as I approach. Good. What time of day is it?
We'll say it's afternoon.
Good afternoon, soldiers. Thank you all for your hard work.
Oh, thank you, miss. We appreciate it. There's been quite a commotion here lately, and we've been working quite hard to try to figure out what's going on. And
Oh no.
if you don't have any business here, then I would suggest that maybe you carry on your way. But if I can help you in any way, just let me know.
Of course. Sorry, that was Emily, not this poor beautiful Hannah. I'm actually an animal handler, and I heard that there was some other animals that went missing, and my heart broke for all of the poor animal handlers that lost their mice, and I wanted to offer my assistance, or at least my condolences, to those people. Do you know where they are?
They should be in the stables, but we're not really supposed to let anybody in.
Okay.
But does Hannah have what's her level of decorum?
Her level
A tear, as Hannah says this, a tear rolls down Tuvo's cheek, just like she got to him, man.
She has a total of 4 pips in all of her society things, so I could roll dice if you want me to.
Is it up towards the top?
Oh,
There's
decorum.
There's something up along the top that tells me what level, or tells you what level of decorum you have.
You're absolutely right. I have decent.
You have decent. You're not eloquent.
You mean elegant?
Elegant, maybe. Is that what it is?
Yeah. There's decent, and then there's elegant. I'm only at decent.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna let you make a roll here.
Okay.
If you have basically, it's just if you had a higher decorum rating, then I'd probably let you get a +1 on it. But we'll just have you do a basic action roll. What are you gonna roll in this situation?
I'm to roll eloquence because I want to get my way with something.
Sure.
I did not get any successes, so
Okay.
I'm gonna push once.
Okay.
Or re-roll. I'm trying to remember the terms for it. I got I got 2 pairs.
Two
I have
pairs.
2 4s and 2 2s. Is that 2
Okay.
successes?
Yeah, we'll let you. Basically, what I'll let you do is Who's next to you in this situation?
Maybe I think only Tubo.
Only Tubo. Sienna's kind of off on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Sienna's got parchment and a quill.
Okay.
Aw.
The soldier kind of lets you go by and says, well, yeah, I think that we can probably use your help in the stables, and he lets you and Tubo go through and kind of get into this kind of where the crime scene has taken place.
Perfect. Let's go investigate this.
Okay.
Excellent.
What's Sienna want to do at this point?
She was forging orders in case Hannah's thing didn't work out.
Okay. I like it.
Like, I'm supposed to be here.
Sure.
I'll roll for it.
Yeah, why don't you do that? Why don't you? So you've written it down on that piece of paper that you took previously.
Yeah, on I'm gonna assume there's backside that's blank.
You just flipped it over and started writing out in order.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I'll
totally.
give me some sort of roll for that. You come up to the officer after you've written it out, and you kind of you don't say anything. You just kind of just flash it at him real quick, like you're supposed to be there, and like you're there under some order, and give me a roll for that.
Yeah, it's all authoritative marching, and she just smacks it into his chest. I'll do
kind of like what Darcy would probably do if he were in that same situation.
exactly. How about illusion for that?
Okay.
That's 5 dice. Basic success.
Yeah, basics. Yeah, I'll let that go through. So yeah, you kind of just slap it up against his chest and walk through, and he just kind of he doesn't question you because it's that typical situation where if you walk with authority, like nobody questions you because they think you know what you're doing. So you just walk right through, and the paper kind of falls onto the ground, and he doesn't even pay any attention to it, and you just walk in after Hannah and Tubo, and you get in there and you kind of catch up with Hannah and Tubo, and you kind of see that the whole scene is kind of chaotic. There's dusty stables that were apparently used to host several smaller mice, but now everything is in disarray. The main door is off its hinges. The animal feed is scattered all around. The water tin is spilled. And as I need you all to make me a roll using Grace and Street, please.
Using Grace?
Yes, and
Okay.
Street. So Street should be your is great.
Grace is under society for me.
Okay, so yeah, just use your Street and your Grace under society, I guess.
Okay.
I got 3 3s.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Well, let's see what everybody else does as well.
This is not going to be... Oh, yes, I got a success.
Okay.
I only had 2 dice.
You only had 2 dice, but you got 1 success, so 1 pair you got?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What does Sienna roll?
I got... Because I roll them separate, right?
You roll them together, so you roll. You want to roll your Street and your Grace at the same time.
Let me redo that.
Sure.
Just need to add a couple more. Basic success. Pair of 3s.
All right. Hannah walks through and totally misses and totally bypasses the walks around this puddle that is in the way. Unfortunately, since Tubo and Sienna weren't really kind of paying attention, they were kind of looking at the everything else that's going on in the stable. They kind of slip and they don't fall into the puddle, but you can definitely tell that their shoes are definitely soaked. They do that thing where they like kind of try to walk around it last minute or last second, and instead they kind of like step on the side and sink in a little bit, and they get like some of their shoes kind of dirty, and you all kind of get knocked down a notch in your decorum.
Oh no!
Oh no, that's so
you guys
bad.
are all muddy.
Stupid states.
Now, is it just me, friends? Or does it look like a fight happened here? Those poor little mice didn't go willingly.
Sienna gets all wide-eyed and just like leans into Hannah. And what else?
Well, I don't see any blood anywhere, so hopefully the mice aren't dead. Wait, is there blood, Doug? I don't remember there being blood in your description.
There is not, but if you would like to give me a roll.
An investigation?
Yeah, give me an investigation roll and see what see if you can kind of just take a look around and I'm assuming Hannah's just kind of taking in the scene and kind of predicting, almost like you see on those crime shows where like the investigator kind of sees the what's playing out in their head as they're looking at
Slade here.
Yeah, exactly.
I got a basic success.
Okay.
Is that an
yeah?
This is one success is basic, right?
Just a basic.
Yep.
Yeah. You rolled a pair.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see that there is you see some dragged tracks that probably could have been left just as easily by maybe a littling or a beast.
Look, something was dragged here. We should follow this.
Now,
should we though?
I was wondering, with my background in fighting and war and things like that, could I kind of get a sense of the direction that things have come from, where it took off to? Was whatever this was, did it leave tracks that differ from
This thing that was
the mice? Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you give me an investigation roll as well, and just so that way you can. And I'll give you a +1 in this situation just because of your background.
Okay. All right, I got a pair.
You got one pair. Do you want to try to roll and see if you want to keep that pair and try to re-roll it so you can get 3 of a kind?
Yeah, so the re-roll, you take the 2 that aren't part of the success.
Basically, if you want a higher success, you can re-roll the dice that aren't part of your original success. But if you don't improve upon the success, your original success goes away.
Oh.
So there's kind of like a little bit of a push your luck kind of mechanic here.
You could use an ace if you're not certain.
You could
You know
totally.
what?
If it matters to you.
I will totally use an ace because I want to get a good picture.
Okay. So yeah, why don't you use one of your aces and you can add another die to that and.
Okay. Mark that off. Okay, that brought it up. 3 of a kind.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, you as soon as Hannah says that there's something that was dragged here, Tubo, you kind of, based on your background, you kind of get down, you kind of hunch down and look at the ground a little bit further, and you kind of study it a little bit more, and you can tell that there's something here that it has tracks of a littling together with those of a beast. So you can tell that there's definitely a littling and a beast that came through here and dragged something out, and you can see the direction in which they dragged it to.
Okay, and I'll relate that to Hannah and Santa.
Okay.
Okay.
Should we follow the trail, or do you guys want to spend more time here?
I think that the only other thing I'd want to do here is speak with the handlers and see if maybe somebody was interested in the mice. Will you be able to follow the trail in a minute if we go talk to them first?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, they said that the handlers were around the stables. Do we see where they are?
Yeah, you see that they're basically they're part of the troops there that are kind of guarding the stables. You can tell that they're definitely, based on their uniforms, you can definitely tell that they're the animal handlers, but they're also guards as well. And so they're just kind of, since they don't have any mice to handle it, they're kind of on guard there in that area.
I'm sorry, Veronica. Is it okay if I go talk to them?
By all means.
All right, here I go. And I'm going to gather up Bonbon once more, and we're going to head over there.
Okay. Yeah, you see some soldiers standing there at attention. They're definitely handlers that, and they kind of look at you real kind of like questionable, like what is this young girl and this bee doing in our area? Like, but they are definitely not the ones to talk first.
Hello, my name is Hannah.
Hello.
I wanted to express my deepest condolences that you've lost your hunting mice. I understand the bond that handlers have with their companions, and it breaks my heart that you're going through this. I myself am a handler. This is Bonbon. And Bonbon's like, bzzz.
That's a cute pet. Yes, our mice are definitely hunting mice, and they're very important to the kingdom.
Of course. Well, me and my companions are looking into the loss of your mice, and I was just hoping you would be willing to answer a few questions to aid in our investigation.
By whose orders are you tasked with this job?
Oh, Veronica had the paper. Veronica, do you have that paper that said that we could investigate?
Oh, one of y'all, she'll saunter up. One of y'all men had it. If they lost it, that's not my problem.
But it's the guards that we went past to get to the stables. I'm sure you trust your own guards.
I guess. I mean, if you're here already in the stables, like, you must have gone through
Proper protocol.
Yes. So I guess yes. I will allow it. Go ahead. What is your question?
Hannah takes a deep breath to settle her nerves because she's not very used to lying. Well, first off, was there anybody who has come by recently that expressed interest in your mice?
Not that I'm aware. We just tend to these mice and make sure that they're healthy and that they're well taken care of. And I know most people in the kingdom are appreciative that we have these as assets for the kingdom. So, I'm sure that that's always something to consider. But no, nobody in particular has come by and said that they've been of interest to them.
Okay. Has there been anyone loitering about lately? No suspects that come to mind when you think about this?
And he just kind of eyeballs you, and he's like, the only people that have been loitering around this area, and he just kind of
I am not loitering. I have a purpose, and I am supposed to be here, if you recall.
Yes, I vaguely recall that.
And I would not be so foolish as to return to a scene of a crime, even if I had committed one.
That sounds like something a guilty person would say.
I don't think so. I think that is something somebody would say if they were trying to
maybe you're trying to throw us off your tracks. Maybe the culprit is right here in front of us this whole time.
Veronica?
just gonna let this happen.
Are you really?
No,
Just okay.
Sienna's gonna step forward and like put a hand on Hannah's shoulder and look at the guard. Are you really trying to accuse her? And she looks Hannah up and down, and then the fluffy bee in her arms, and then back to the guard. You're going to accuse this one of returning to the scene of a crime?
And then at this point he just breaks and he starts chuckling and he's just like, of course not. I'm just
You know, it's really funny to get the new ones, isn't it?
Oh, totally. I think did you see her? I thought she was about to cry. It was so you could see like the sweat coming down from her forehead. It was incredible. I love it when we have new people.
I know the new recruits.
It's so fun.
They're so funny. Hannah, wasn't that so fun?
Yes.
Oh, you're such a good sport.
I love
So
hazing.
It's a good initiation. See, she loved it. It's
That
fine.
was very funny.
Hmm.
Okay.
Right.
Were you honest in answering my previous questions?
Of course I am. I wouldn't lie about that. I am seriously hoping that we find the culprit for, who does that, who did this heinous crime of
Yes.
stealing and abducting our mice.
Were the mice recently involved in a battle that would have attracted any attention to them in one of their hunts?
No.
Okay.
Hmm.
And when was the last time that they were seen?
No, they were seen yesterday afternoon.
Okay. So the discovery was made this morning that they were gone.
Oh, yes.
Okay. And have you heard anything about strange growlings in the night?
Like what kind of sound?
Like a Hannah does a great job.
Yeah. He just kind of startles. He's just like, "Ooh," like he's just so taken aback that such a loud noise would come out of such a small creature. And so
Sienna's
dainty
behind Hannah, just like,
you're like, way to go, kid.
yeah.
Yeah, he's like, oh, not that I'm aware of. I don't know if anything, that would sound like that. I'm not in this area 24/7.
I gotta say, I think Tubo would be running up with his bolt in hand at this point, like, did you guys hear that? Oh
Sienna,
my God,
like,
where was
woo.
it? Where is it?
Tubo.
What?
That was Hannah.
I was making the
No.
sound that Elizabeth showed us earlier.
Wasn't
No,
it so
that
good?
couldn't have came out of you. I
Oh.
don't believe that.
It did.
If you say so, I got to take your word
Hannah,
for it.
you could demonstrate it again to
Oh,
show
I think
Tubo.
once was certainly enough.
I don't know. I think Tubo might attack something.
I will say that it sounded quite realistic. I wasn't quite sure if you had told me that came from such a small littling like yourself, that so dainty and and so delicate as you right here in front of me. I would have never imagined that such a sound like that came out of your mouth. Maybe you could make it again, and maybe I could call the other soldiers over here, and we could all.
Oh, yes, a demonstration.
Yes,
I think
yes.
that would be a great
I think if I were to
idea.
tell everybody that this happened, they would not believe me.
No.
Guys, come over here. Come over here. Frank. Yep. Jordan. Yeah. Okay. Come here. So this littling right here makes this crazy noise that I've never heard of, and you will never believe. Okay.
Go ahead, Hannah.
Could you please do it again?
Okay, I suppose. It was sort of like a
And like all the soldiers kind of jump back except for the one that you were talking to, and he just kind of like he's just dumbfounded again, and he's like, "See, I told you, it's
See,
ridiculous."
My jaw's just like hanging open.
Her like wings are like fluttering, like all excited. Just not enough to lift her off the ground, but just like trembling.
And so he's like, okay, you guys go back to your post now. I just thought because if I told you that this happened, you wouldn't have believed me.
I high five one of them. Ding.
Amazing.
I think you get an ace for that.
Okay. I get a what? An ace? Thank
You
you.
get an ace. Yes, absolutely.
Amazing.
Absolutely. For tolerating our shenanigans.
I love it. I was just glad my mic didn't cut me out.
Yeah. No, it picked everything up.
Oh, so good.
So would you like to continue the questioning of this soldier, or would you like to move on at this point?
I can't think of any other questions to ask. How about you two?
No,
Nope.
I think we're...
Let's move on then.
Okay. Where would you like to go? Tubo knows the way of the tracks.
Tubo.
Let's follow these tracks.
Yes.
I'll lead the way.
Okay. You see that the tracks leave the stables and continue outside of the village. Who's kind of leading the way? I guess who's
Tubo.
Tubo's leading the way. Yeah. Okay. You just kind of keep walking, along this trail. It leads you all the way outside of the village, and then it kind of stops right when it gets to this really tall and imposing wall.
And it there's no opening in the wall or anything. It's just straight up wall.
Why don't you give me some sort of exploration plus street roll?
Okay. Exploration. Okay, that's not terrible. Come on, dice. Okay, that's a nothing. I'm going to re-roll.
Okay.
And that'll give me one pair. So
One
basic.
pair? Okay. Does anybody else want to try to look as well?
Yeah, I can look.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of get to this stopping point, right? This dragging definitely stops right before this wall.
I also got one.
You got one? Okay.
One on 3 dice. I don't really feel confident about rolling my 3rd dice, so.
Okay.
You know what? I'll try to roll.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to get a 3rd. Oh, I did
Waiting
it.
on
Did you get your
online
3rd?
rollers is the worst.
Yeah, online rollers are the worst.
Oh, absolutely.
I did it.
Yeah, so you got your 3rd. You got your triple.
I got a triple.
Yeah, you notice that definitely the tracks stop on the ground, but then all of a sudden you kind of notice something along the wall that kind of looks like there's something being dragged up it, and like you can see like the mark almost above eye level. It starts to drag up the wall. And at this point, you hear this voice in the distance, and it says, "Friends, the guards said you were headed this way." And all of a sudden, you see Miss Elizabeth running towards you, and she's like, "Oh, how's your investigation going, dearies?"
Been at it a whole 5 minutes. So good.
Oh, Elizabeth, what brings you here?
I just wanted to see how well your investigation was, and I didn't think that that you would probably be meeting up with Darcy yet, but I just wanted to make sure that you hadn't met up with him yet.
Of course. We were just checking this out, and then maybe we would go see Darcy. Not that you would be interested in this.
No. I'm
that
sure that
brute of a man.
Maybe I should just come with you, and so then that way we can figure out what's going on, and then I can just kind of throw it in Darcy's face that I was right all along, and he doesn't know what he's doing. He's just a big stupid jerk.
Totally.
Okay. Go ahead, Veronica.
Sienna's gonna take Elizabeth and like gently guide her in front of the wall. Okay, to come on this investigation with us. What do you see on this wall?
Let me see. I see, and she kind of looks down. She's like, I see some tracks that just kind of, there's something that was dragged right here, and it stopped, and oh, is there something up above here that kind of looks like there was something up above here on the wall?
Yes, I was right about to fly up and look over the wall and see if I could see something on the other side.
Oh, I know all the local flora and the fauna in this area, so yeah, I can definitely help with anything that you might come across here in this area.
Perfect. I'm so happy you're joining us. It'll really throw it in that smug guy's face.
Darcy's he just thinks he knows it all, and he doesn't know anything at all.
So
If he
stupid
knew-
and handsome and stupid.
Stupid. He's so stupid and dreamy. I mean, stupid.
Doug, I can't handle you. Tibo's like, give me something to smash.
Sienna's gonna pat Elizabeth and move her back by Tubo.
I think Tubo is a little suspicious of Emily just appearing out of kind of nowhere.
Elizabeth, yeah, okay.
Yeah, Elizabeth.
Sorry. Yeah.
But he's just trying to figure things out in his head, and you can tell like the lights are on, but nobody's home, kind of situation going on.
Okay.
And he's just kind of like really eyeballing her and watching her movements, ready to step in should she attack one of his party members.
Yeah. If you look at her, she's very kind of thin and you know, it would take quite a bit for her to maybe take out any of y'all, but you know, there's always a possibility, of course.
What kind of littling is she?
She's a Bogart, just like her
She's
grandfather.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
And that's kind of why she kind of thinks that Darcy is maybe, you know, a little biased towards the country folks, that the littlings that are in that area, and because you know he's probably looks down on all of us, and you know probably doesn't see good things when he sees them right in the front of his face.
What an idiot.
Oh, it's so irritating.
So irritating. All right, well, can I fly up and look at the other side of the wall?
Yeah, the wall goes very, very high. It's for us it would probably be probably a 10-foot high wall, but for a littling that's quite a, you know, that's hundreds of feet in their perspective. So you would have to give me some sort of roll to find a way up the wall. Give me an athletics plus street roll and see if you can find anything that.
Okay, that's only 3 dice for me.
Oh, and I will definitely give you a +1 because Elizabeth is there and she's trying to help you and she kind of knows the area.
Okay. I've got a pair, 1 pair. Is that high enough for the difficulty check, or do I need to?
You can try. I would say go for it and see if you can get a better success.
Okay, I'm going to use an ace and add another dice to my test here.
All right.
I got another 4 for a total of 3.
Okay. Yeah, you can definitely see that there's some. Of course, you have wings, so you can kind of fly a little bit up a little ways anyway. But you know that flying all that way would make your wings really, really tired. But yeah, you can see that there is definitely some like peeled wallpaper, and you can kind of fly up to some of these peeled pieces of wallpaper that are kind of on the seam of where the wallpaper came through, or where the wallpaper was, and you just kind of keep going up there. And you see that there is a crack at the top of the wall that probably leads into the in-betweens. And you know the in-betweens as the area behind the walls, behind the, kind of inside
Yeah.
the walls themselves.
Yeah, scary. I don't think Hannah's ever been inside of the in-betweens before.
Probably not.
But she'll hold on to the edge and like look down at everybody, and it's probably like a dizzying length downwards. She's never been this high up before. And then she'll like just peek inside. She's not going to go deep into the in-between right now, but she'll look into this crack to see if she can notice anything.
You just see that you can see the light from behind you kind of peer through a little bit, and then it just leads into darkness.
Okay.
But as you flew up the side of the wall, and as you jumped onto these pieces of rolled wallpaper, you could definitely see that there was something that was dragged alongside the wall. So it definitely, those same drag marks that that led you outside of the village, it definitely went up the side of the wall.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. I don't think there's any way to get all of my friends here. So
yeah, I mean, they would definitely have to climb and probably do the same thing. But in order to, you'd probably have to give me a athletics and street roll for each of you, and I would make it just a regular success because of the fact that Hannah's already kind of gone up and
I've
kind of
mapped out a
established
path.
the way through. If you all want to go up and climb up the wall.
Can I also send Bonbon down to help whoever has the hardest time? It says that the Bumblebee can help balance or retrieve small items. And so I was thinking maybe like he can help like make sure people, if they start slipping, he can push them up against the wall.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably doable. Sure.
Okay, cool.
Would you all the rest of you like to give me a street and athletics roll?
Can you imagine if this is where Elizabeth falls to her peril?
That would be horrible.
We just suddenly morph into a Morkborg session in the middle of this cuteness.
Oh no.
And she falls.
Splat.
Oh, I have a pair.
Okay, yeah, that works. Yeah, we'll let you have a pair because Hannah's kind of mapped it out and gone up all the way to the top already. What about Tubo? Is Tubo get a success for your roll?
Can I use my big and strong ability to add one?
What's your big and strong ability?
It says gain 1 to lift, carry, or break something.
Sure.
You're lifting yourself.
Yeah, I think and we'll say that you're kind of helping Elizabeth. You're the gentleman that kind of helps Elizabeth up the wall as well.
You're Andre the Giant hauling everyone up the cliffs of despair.
Basically, yeah.
Oh, you just touched my heart right there.
Yeah.
1, I love Princess Bride. 2, Andre the Giant is a beautiful person.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that is a basic.
Okay. Yeah, I'll let you do that if that works. And yeah, you all get to the kind of you're all climbing up these curled up pieces of wallpaper and kind of like what do you call that? What do you call it? Like the
rock climbing.
Rock climbing. Yeah, I couldn't think of that. Kind of like
Gotcha.
rock climbing up this rather high wall.
Like you're talking sports. I don't know.
Yeah, I for some reason I couldn't think of the word rock climbing. You climb up this wall and you get up there with Hannah and what's your bee's name again?
Bonbon.
Bonbon. Yeah, you get up there with Hannah and Bonbon, and you're all kind of you're looking at this large crack in the wall that just leads into darkness.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Our courage, maybe.
Oh, come on. I feel like Sienna's actually been here.
We got
So
this.
many.
Don't worry. My trusty Bolt's with us.
Okay, in that case, let's go.
Yeah, you know that you kind of start climbing into the crack, and yeah, Elizabeth kind of says that she kind of opens up, and she's kind of sad by the fact that we're going into this without Darcy's knowledge or approval, and
Do you want me to fly back and tell him?
no, I don't think that there's time for that at this point. We would just, in more than likely, he wouldn't believe us anyway. And, I just wish he would have listened to us. And, I want to be mad at him, but I know he just wants to try to do the best job that he can and look the best that he can at as lieutenant. But if only he trusted me.
If
Oh, I get
only
it.
people didn't stop to weep about a man, we would be further along. Sienna is now tired.
I'm
Sure.
definitely got to be ahead because I don't want to
Okay.
gag and puke again.
Yeah, so you climb through.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
it's Tubo and then Sienna, like,
Yeah.
walking backwards, like, why?
Sure. Yeah, you each one at a time go through this crack in the wall, and you kind of tumble down into. Actually, I think I've got an illustration that kind of shows.
Oh, it's so cool.
That is awesome.
That's so fun.
You're going into this space in between the walls, and there's wooden slats across the way, and you kind of have to climb down and go along
There's
the
a lot
walls
of
there.
detail in that illustration. That's really cool. I
the
love
artist
the
is-
wasp nest.
Yeah, it's the art in this, and just the artist in general. She's just incredibly talented, and
Yeah.
we need to get her some industry awards for what she's doing in this industry, because and hopefully more people will be able to appreciate all these projects that she's working with, and she's working with Acheron, she's working with Two Little Mice, and it's just really cool to see. But yeah, you crawl down into this area, and as you kind of go further and further in the in-betweens, the darkness kind of starts to take over, and you dive deeper, and it just gets more dark and silent and dusty, and there's just the space in between the walls just kind of gets kind of more cobwebby and dusty, and there's just no wallpaper and no lacquered wood, and it's just flaky plaster that kind of flakes off as you kind of like walk along the sides of the walls, and you see some naked bricks that are caked around the pipes and the bones of the house, and yeah, it's just really dark and gloomy, and just kind of creaks every once in a while, and you can kind of hear things that maybe the wind pushes up against the house, and all of a sudden this little poof of dust kind of in the darkness kind of showers dust all over your heads.
How do we know it's wind? Is there like a noise?
Yeah, you know that like there's probably wind from outside the house that kind of blows through.
Like, does it make a particular like tone?
Just good, it's like
Okay. Yeah.
You know?
Nice.
yeah. And as it does that, it kind of makes the house creak like just a little bit, because it's an older house. And
Really immersed. I love it.
yeah, I hope
Sound
you.
This episode is on point.
Yeah, and specifically for the audio podcast listeners, this is
Huh.
just a treat for y'all. We got so many. Yeah. So you kind of keep. Does anybody want to kind of roll for stealth? Maybe, I don't know if there's anything that
yeah.
are you kind of want to. You definitely don't want to alert anything in the area, I think.
What if It's dexterity and street. Yeah.
Yeah, why not? We'll do that.
Oh, 3. Do I go for more?
You rolled 3.
3 on a set of 3 on 5 dice.
Oh, nice.
May I also roll a caution street? It's being alert, anticipating, or avoiding dangers. And I think that Hannah's pretty nervous about this and wants to avoid danger at all costs.
Sure.
How many dice do I have to this? I was just going to roll 5 and I need to actually check. Oh, I have 4. Okay, let me take one of these suckers out. I rolled 2 1s. So 1 pair.
One pair?
I'll stay there.
Tubo, what you rolled 1 pair as well? Okay. Yeah, you all kind of are walking through kind of cautiously. You're not really making any noise. Sienna kind of sees their it's almost like a secret hideout you're kind of squinting and you can kind of make out something that there's like rubble that's from the house, from the plaster that's kind of fallen down from the walls, and maybe some random items here and there, just kind of stacked up around this and kind of made into like this circular shape and along one of the edges of the walls, and you can kind of tell that there's something behind there.
Sienna will stop and look at the other. There's something over there.
Okay. My bolt is ready. Let's go.
Does it look like there's a way in, or?
Yeah, it looks like that you could probably go up and over, and you could kind of like probably could almost like peer down and see what's on the other side if you were really kind of cautious. And of course, it's all kind of rubble, so you probably have to make sure that you didn't, cause anything to slip and fall and cause any noise, though.
Tubo, you want to give me a boost?
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
I'm gonna climb on Tubo. Tubo's tall.
Yeah. We'll say Tubo's rather tall, and you get on his shoulders, and you're kind of standing up straight and kind of looking down, and it's still pretty high up, but you can kind of see there's something black that's kind of moving around in that area, but then you also kind of hear almost a voice of a littling, you'd almost think.
Can I?
Where's Elizabeth during this whole thing?
Oh yeah,
she's right behind you, and she's like, oh, she's very quiet. She's like, I wonder what is it? Is it is it the beast? Is it something? What is it?
Shh. Oh, Tubo. I'm going to climb up all the way, and then when I yell, just bust through.
You got it.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah, can I
ready?
Yeah, give me some sort of roll for that, though, to make sure that you don't cause anything to kind of fall down from these built up walls.
What if I did athletics and street?
Okay, that works for me.
Okay. I got a pair of 1s.
Okay. It's up to you if you want to. Do you want to try to get? I will allow you to get up there and see what's going on, but if you get a greater success, I might even let you get some sort of other advantage.
I'm gonna try. Okay, I need to roll 3 more. So let's see. So I have 1s. So if I roll a different pair.
If you don't increase the level of success that you had with your original dice, then you lose everything.
I do lose everything. This is rude, but I want to do this. I have a move.
Okay.
It's called Your Loss, My Gain.
Okay.
And I can choose an ally that will suffer the consequences of my failure instead of me.
Okay. Yeah. Who would you like to have suffer this consequence?
Okay, so the way I'm picturing this is because I'm on Tubo's shoulders.
Yep.
So when I kick up to try to get there, I hit Kubo wrong somehow, and this turns into Tubo's problem of like.
Like you kicked him in the head and he yelled?
Like, yeah, I kicked him in the head, he slipped, he smacked it,
Okay.
Yeah, this is Tubo's problem.
You, Tubo, you kind of get kicked in the head, or maybe she steps on your ear or something, and just kind of causes you to kind of yell out and make some commotion. And all of a sudden, you see this Undyne that kind of like peeks his head out from over the barrier, and he's like, "What are you all doing here?"
We're here to recover the stolen mice.
Well, you shouldn't be here. Go back to your village. And he goes back down into his into his circular kind of hideout.
Well, that was kind of rude.
You try again.
Why don't I go talk to him?
Okay.
You know what? Do it.
I'm gonna lift off my wings, which make a pretty big buzzing sound according to like the lore, right? So it's like bzzz, it's like rise up and then dive over.
As you rise up over this circular wall or semicircle wall that's been built up, as soon as you get up over the wall, you look down, and not only do you see this Undyne creature, but you also see this rather large centipede.
Oh, hell no. Okay, that's fine. I'm okay. That's cool. So many legs, dog.
Oh, I'd hug him.
Okay.
I would not.
Well, he would definitely hug you back.
He would. That would be a lot of hugging.
Uh-huh. It's a no for me.
Wrong way. Can't bear around the other side.
I'm going to alight at the top of this wall and fold my arms in displeasure as I look down at this Undyne and this centipede. Excuse me, that wasn't very polite.
This isn't any of your concern. We're perfectly fine by ourselves.
I understand that you're perfectly fine by yourselves, and I respect your privacy. However, you don't have the right to tell us to get out of here when we are trying to solve a problem for the realm.
Well, there is no problem.
There is a problem because many mice have gone missing and their trail leads here. So unless you can illuminate the situation, I'm afraid we might end up having a problem.
Well, we had to take the mice.
Why did you have to take the mice?
Because he's hungry.
The centipede is hungry?
Yeah.
What's its name?
I just call him Senti.
This is Bonbon, and Bonbon's like hovering right here, and Bonbon is my friend, and I would do a lot for Bonbon if they were hungry, but that doesn't mean that you can take away the hunting mice, because if you take away the hunting mice, then many, many people will go hungry.
Well, yeah, but they're just gonna take him away from me, and I don't.
Well, obviously you need to register as an animal handler, and then maybe we can figure something out.
Yeah. He's just so scared.
What's he scared of?
You look at him, he's rare, and he's a rare species, and he came from the horde downstairs, and he's just he was gonna be somebody's pet, but you know, he broke free from his cage. He was in this little tiny cage, and he was going to be a gift to some noble littling in the realm, and you know, I know he's just sad to be taken away from his home in the basement, and I just I don't want him to be sad, and I
Well,
just
then
couldn't
maybe
couldn't
we
do
need.
nothing. I just want to help him, and when he realized that I wanted to help him, we became friends.
Can I hear the conversation that's going? Because I know I'm below. Can I hear this conversation?
It's up to you. Do you want to hear the conversation?
I would really like to hear the conversation.
Okay. Yeah, we'll say that you're kind of like Hannah, what's going on? And you kind of like at this point you know that your cover's blown, so you kind of like climb up the wall and you're kind of like peering over and you're kind of listening to
okay.
what yeah.
Because I'm from the horde below, so I'm wondering, do I recognize the centipede
You don't
from my days of
notice
servitude?
you don't notice this centipede in particular, but you do know that these centipedes are fairly rare. They're not usually seen up in this part of the house. And you know that a lot of them, since they're so rare, a lot of the uh, uh,
Caretakers,
yeah, a
handlers.
lot of the higher ups in the in the realm kind of take them as pets, just kind of show off, kind of like having, how like rich people sometimes have lions and tigers in their
Yeah.
backyard and
Bears,
stuff, and
oh my.
this is kind of the same thing with these centipedes, and they're normally not particularly nice creatures, but this one definitely is kind of taking a liking to this Undine that has befriended him.
Do you have a picture of the Undine?
I don't actually.
That's okay. I couldn't remember what they looked like.
I should have
I
grabbed
would've-
one from the.
No, you're
quotable
good. You're
book.
good.
I think I want to go over the wall and kind of, I don't know. I feel like since I've been freed
Mhm.
from that servitude, I feel for this creature. I think
Okay.
there's a connection between me and the creature, and I think I want to approach, obviously, with respect and caution, but still at a understanding level.
Okay. Yeah,
And so I'll just kind of lower my bolt and go over.
okay. Yeah, you climb over. Sienna, what are you doing at this point?
I'll climb up and I'll just kind of hang out on the ledge, I guess.
Okay.
I'm just gonna chill up there. I'll help Elizabeth
Yeah,
if she wants to participate.
Elizabeth kind of comes up over the edge, and as soon as she sees the centipede, she's like, "I was right. See, I was right. Darcy was wrong. I was right the whole time." And she she's so excited by the fact that she was right that she just comes back over. She doesn't care that the centipede is usually kind of not usually friendly and all that, but she's just so excited that she's right. She comes over the side of the wall, and she kind of slides down and kind of just she doesn't want to be. She wants to be in the middle of it because she was so right.
Oh, Elizabeth, careful. We don't want to scare. We don't want to scare the centipede.
Let her have a moment.
Yeah.
Sienna's like, what's gonna happen? Is she gonna get
Listen, Mr. Undine. I'm sorry. What was
I'm
your
sorry.
name?
My name is Austin. My name is
Austin. So cute.
We're both kind of orphans, so I just she's just innocent, and she wouldn't hurt a fly. I know that stealing's wrong, but we really didn't have any choice, and nobody should have to live in a cage and be somebody's pet, especially a great centipede like Senti here.
Well, I have a question. Is Senti good at hunting?
I mean, she was able to grab those mice and bring them all the way here, and
Well, maybe because you ate the hunting mice, you should offer to work in their stead to pay off this horrible debt. That way, Senti and you will have a home and a purpose, but also you make up for your crimes.
And as you finish that sentence, all of a sudden, you hear from the top of the wall, you hear, "Aha! back away, you foul beast. I shall protect you. And it's
Dummy, it's Dummy Dum Dum.
Lieutenant
Dummy Dum
Darcy
Dum has arrived.
And he has followed your he has kind of connected the dots and followed you here. And he comes in. He's like, I shall take care of this beast right now and apprehend it, and all shall be right.
A big,
wanna just-
strong hero.
I don't think so. You're gonna have to go through me.
What does Elizabeth do when she sees
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Darcy?
Elizabeth goes. She just says, "No, it's not his fault. It's not their fault. He's just hungry. He's." And he's just like, "We need to take care of this and apprehend this creature and this person at once."
Can I fly up to be directly in his eye line between him and the centipede, and with my arms like all folded disapprovingly as I stare him down?
Yeah, I think that's probably doable.
Excuse me, sir.
And at this point, at this point, he's kind of, he's raised his weapon. He's got like a little, it almost looks like a pin or something that he's wielding, and he kind of violently gestures, and all of a sudden the centipede kind of rears up and starts hissing.
Uh-oh.
I'll put
Okay.
myself between the centipede and the jerk face there.
Okay, Darcy,
Darcy.
the Lieutenant Darcy.
Excuse me, sir. This is a poor creature that has been suffering its entire life and was starving to death. It means no harm to any living being and is prepared to make up for its crimes in place of a place where it can belong. So calm your buzz, sir.
Well, I don't know about that. We've lost quite a few hunting mice in this whole situation.
And the fact that the centipede could take on so many hunting mice means that it's very strong and could protect the kingdom in times of crisis.
Yes, but it does not belong here. It belongs in the basement.
That's terrible to say. That's like saying that it belongs in a cage. I myself came from the dining room, and we are all on the stairs now, right? Things can move around. It's a creature with a heart and a carapace.
Yes, I agree, but it should not be up here in the stairs.
But Elizabeth would really like it if you let it stay. And I look to Elizabeth.
And she's just kind of she's just like, her eyes just got really big, and she's still just kind of like staring, like kind of scared at that hissing centipede. And she just realized that, oh, wait a minute, I'm really close to this centipede, and centipedes aren't really all that nice, and I don't know if I should be here or not.
Yeah, dummy. The two dum-dums are perfect for each other.
They really are.
They're precious. Elizabeth!
Yes.
Tell Mr. Darcy about how much you would like for this thing to have a home and not have to be relinquished to the basement.
Well,
Remember how right you were.
Well, yeah, I was right that it wasn't a littling that was taking the mice, but I don't think that it should be here. I think maybe we should let it go to let it set it free in the basement, because I don't want it up here.
Are you just saying that because it's bigger than you?
It just hissed. It just do you
Austin, can you make the centipede calm down, please?
Austin kind of looks at it and just kind of tries to he kind of puts a hand on its I don't know what you want to call it.
head.
No, not on
chest.
its head, on its chest. I guess. Like, does the centipede have a chest at this point?
It's under carapace.
He's under carapace, and kind of rubs it, and it just kind of stays reared back, and especially in that pose that I had on screen, that just kind of you can kind of hear it. You can kind of hear it kind of hissing really quietly. It's because it doesn't like the fact that Darcy has drawn its weapon and is pointing at him.
So that's why it's up in that pose.
What's that?
It's up in that pose because Darcy drew it. He didn't gesture to.
Yeah, no, he drew his weapon and just kind of, he kind of barged in there and drew his weapon and kind of pointed at the centipede. And you can definitely tell that it doesn't like that.
Austin, listen to me very carefully now.
Okay.
If you can't figure out a way for this centipede, Senti, to listen to you, then they'll never have a home in society.
Darcy needs to put away his weapon.
Yes, but
Hugo's
even if it's scared, it can't attack people because it could be around people with weapons often.
This
Darcy?
centipede could attack any one of us at this point. But it only reared up when the weapon was drawn. So Darcy, put down your friggin' weapon.
And you can probably already know that the centipede, since it was probably put in cages by people similar uniforms, it definitely has this disdain for those those soldiers and those investigators and such. So Darcy's definitely, he's not backing down. He's got this sword drawn, and he's kind of shaking a little bit because he realizes that he might be over his head a little bit, but he doesn't want to show weakness.
Big, brave, strong man.
That's right.
Okay.
I have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Sienna's gonna roll her neck. She's gonna stand up on her little perch that she's on. And I can do a thing where I may go Juggernaut and double in size. So she's gonna do that, and she's just gonna clap in Darcy's face.
Okay.
Like, hey, look at me. Put your sword down.
And he'll kind of look at you and kind of sigh really heavily, and he'll put his sheaths his sword and says, "Okay, now what?"
Wonderful. Turns to look at the centipede. All right. One part of the situation diffused. Austin, do you have any more ideas for your lovely friend?
I don't. My plan was just to kind of stay here, and we would just be friends forever, and we would, we'd be here safe.
And how are you going to get food, lovely?
Well,
you can't keep stealing.
We'd figure it out. I mean, we'd have to figure out something.
You could
Can I
maybe
fly
make
down
a
to-
trade deal. Oh, go ahead.
Can I fly down to Austin?
Sure.
I'm going to put a hand on Austin's shoulder, and I would like to say, Austin, listen, you think that it's very nice living here in this creepy, dark, cobwebby, scary, dark place, but it's not good for you or Senti. This isn't a sustainable way of life. They're out of hunting mice now, and there's nothing to eat here except for the occasional roach, and that sounds like a really big ew. So we have to figure out another situation for us to deal with that's sustainable. So either there's a training regimen that Senti can go through in order to live with people, or you guys need to leave.
And it's at this point when Darcy kind of looks over and says, "How about this? Why don't we bring Senti back down to the basement, and set him free. And maybe he'll make other centipede friends down there.
And Senti babies. We could have thousands of these little gross thingies running around through all of the basement.
Hannah, that's
like a herd or a flock of 1,000,000 legs.
I just imagine like the old westerns, like on a dusty trail, and they're doing a cattle roundup, and like just centipedes like frolicking, the dust trailing behind, and you got wranglers riding on the back. Wee-haw!
And the sound of many legs, the tick 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 tick.
Exactly.
I love none of that. Precisely none of that I love.
UX says, I am not going to sleep tonight. Thanks, Em.
Real, yeah.
My apologies, kind of.
Treasure.
At this point, Darcy kind of you can see like there's a little bit of softness come to his face, that he realizes that this is all that Senti is kind of all that this Undine has, that Austin has. And he looks at Austin and says, Austin, you can we'll take a escort down to the basement, and you can come with us, and we'll make sure that that Senti will be fine down there, and Senti is a wild animal, and it's probably best that they stay in their own habitat. And if I really think you've got a great skill of handling creatures, and I would love to have you as part of our unit of soldiers to kind of maybe teach some of our mice handlers something, maybe that they're missing when they're dealing with some of these animals. If you'd like that, we could probably make that happen. And you can see Elizabeth is kind of like looking over at this whole interaction, and she's just like
swooning.
Oh. Like it's just melting her little Bogart heart.
Sienna's just gonna lay down on her back like goodness.
and and I think at this point, Austin kind of goes, okay, yeah, that would be great. As long as Senti's gonna be fine, and she's gonna be able to be with her own kind and
lay 1,000 eggs.
No, Hannah.
Yeah, exactly. And he'll just like, yeah, exactly. And there'll be plenty of more Sentis, and maybe I'll go down and visit them, and maybe we can eventually have them as part of our hunting party instead of the mice. We can have centipedes instead.
That would be amazing, and they would make the best little cuddle piles.
And then we can feed them the hunting mice.
No. Well, maybe other mice. If we have trained mice that people care about, that could be bad. But yeah, maybe we can feed them all kinds of other things.
Okay, yeah. And he kind of gestures to Senti, and Senti kind of gets down from her her offensive position that she was in, and you can tell that she's just kind of she kind of like slithers around everybody and kind of gives everybody like a big centipede hug.
That's fine.
I'm so glad I am up above all of this.
And she realizes that she's not in danger anymore. And yeah, at this point, we'll say that they go on, and Darcy and his men escort Austin, and is it Austin? It was Austin.
It was Austin.
And Senti out from the in between and down the side of the wall, and they go down to the basement, and they bring Senti home, and that's that. Yeah, so basically you've solved this mystery. You're back at the Blue Rat, all taking a rest and drinking a pint of mushroom beer. What else would you like to? What are you all saying to each other at this point?
Well, yes. Can we say that Darcy is with us getting this drink? Or no?
I mean, he's there,
Mm-hmm.
but he's definitely not. He's not with you 3 at the moment. He's definitely sitting next to a particular young lady in the tavern that has kind of paid him a little bit more attention. He's now not that dumb, boy that doesn't realize that there's a young lady that's smitten with him, and he's now paid attention because of all this. And they're you can see them. They're off in a table and they're kind of talking back and forth, and Austin's at another table, kind of drinking, and you can see Darcy kind of talk to Austin across the hall, and she just kind of blushes a little bit as she's just kind of proud of the soldier that Darcy has become, and that he's kind of taken Austin under his wing, and that so he goes back to talking to Elizabeth again, and they're just kind of in their own little world at this table for two that is off to the side of the tavern.
Aw, they're as sweet as honey. Don't you
That's
think, Tubo? I'm sorry I didn't get to smash anything today, Tubo.
Oh, that's all right. I enjoyed the journey with you folks.
Don't worry. Next time, I'll let you fight Sienna.
We should do it.
You got it. Let's
But-
wrestle.
But for now, maybe we all share a cup and celebration of our first adventure together. Thank
Aye.
you, guys.
And old Abbott kind of just takes out 3 pints of mushroom beer and puts them right in front of you and says, "This town definitely appreciates all your help with this, and you're welcome back at the Blue Rat anytime you're in this area." And he kind of smiles, and then he kind of looks over at the table, and he kind of eyeballs Darcy like, "That's my granddaughter."
And then we all freeze frame as we clash our mugs together in the center of the
Just thinking
Ah,
that.
yes.
And that's the end. That is Pride and Prejudice and Centipedes, the starter, the quick start adventure. There's actually some really cool combat rules that we didn't get to go into. The Centipede actually has its own moves that it does when you if you trigger it and you kind of threaten it. It definitely has its own. It almost has like this fake AI. You roll a d6, and it's kind of like a lot like the xenomorph mechanics in Alien, and all the bad or all the creatures that you kind of encounter all have this kind of reaction chart that you can use. It's super fun. I love this. I love this game. I love the system. I love the setting. I love the art. I love the team behind this game. They're doing some really great things over there in Italy and making this game. And I'm excited to see what else the studio is going to put out in the future. I'm going to tell you that if you get a chance to pick up this game, go click on the link in the description. You can pick it up for the core rulebook, which is I think it's almost like 300 and some odd pages long, and it's only like $25. And there's a lot of lore. There's just a whole world behind this whole game. So it's definitely one of those games that if you love the game, you definitely want to take some time and read up on all the factions and all the different kingdoms that exist in this world. And yeah, I can't say enough that I think that this is. I hope that this surprises a lot of people once it gets in print and it's on shelves and available. I feel bad that Tubo didn't get to bop anything with his bolt weapon that he has.
Yeah, but every session is not about bopping everything.
It's
you
true.
know?
It's true.
I get to squish and hammer things all the time in most of our actual plays. So, it's kind of nice to take a step back and just play it from a different perspective too. He's nervous about being in that social aspect after being under submission for so long. He's kind of clumsy, and taking it to a different level where in a lot of my instances I'm Hulk smash. So it was fun and I enjoyed it.
I'm glad. It's definitely one of a more rules light system.
Yeah.
It's definitely more story driven, which is it's good. I like that as far as the system. Some people really like rules heavy and kind of crunchy systems, and I think this is a nice way to create stories and adventures in this setting. Emily and Katie, is this what are your initial thoughts on this whole game? Not this session in particular, but just in general, like the game. They so far what you've seen of the quick start and whatnot.
I love so much about this game. This is one that I want to bring to like my own table and like test with my friends. I think that all of the lore that they have behind it is so cool. It's so cool. Every different ancestry has so much depth to it, all the way down to the contracts, which we didn't even really touch this time.
We didn't.
The contracts are so neat, and I feel like every single ancestry has a different depth to it that is just amazing, and I want to explore more. This is definitely a game that I would play again.
Oh, awesome. Katie, what about what are your thoughts as you've taken a look at this system and this quick start?
Yeah, it's same. I mean, and also the art's gorgeous, which we
Right.
keep talking about.
Yeah.
I like the character sheets as well, and the different moves. I mean, I know these are pre-gens, but the moves that were for the different characters, I thought that brought a lot of flavor. So you could just take these pre-gens and go with your friends at a table, and you've got just these very clean, straightforward character sheets, and I appreciated that about the game itself. It's just something you can take and run with it, basically.
And I don't think we had a deal. Like, did anybody really fail a roll all that much? There's a couple failures.
I did, but
Yeah,
my move got to pass off that failure onto Tubo. So Tubo didn't smash, but Tubo got smashed.
Sure. And so as you fail rolls in this game, you take on more stress, and as you take on more stress, you usually get more conditions, and it basically gives you negative to your dice rolls, and so usually you have to take some sort of time out to address the stress, which is similar to a lot of systems. I really hope that this game gets a lot more buzz. Not pun intended, I guess. Once it gets into physical copies and not that the PDFs are amazing. There's actually 3 PDFs that they've sent out to backers already. There's a source book, there's a campaign book, and then there's this core rule book. So it's going to come in this, if you back the Kickstarter, it comes in this really nice slipcase. There's even minis that they made, although they're not minis, they're actually figures because the characters are minis, so they're actual size of the characters, which is amazing.
In mini meters?
Yeah. So all the characters that we played all have their own actual figures that are, only a few inches high. And I'm really hopeful for this line, and granted, I know that not everybody is going to dig playing fantasy creatures in the walls of an abandoned house, but I just think it's kind of neat, a neat setting that we don't nobody's done before. So I
agree. I like the setting. I like the environments. I like that every little area of the house is its own little like continent or village,
right?
And it has its own government, its own uniqueness about each single one. I mean, imagine being that small and exploring a large mansion.
Yeah, it
it would take you a lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
So the possibilities are endless, even though you're condensed. It's technically condensed down. I mean, we walk through a house and it's like nothing, but just think about being that small and just walking across your kitchen floor.
Mhm.
Or what about those like when you're in your house and you come across like a little spider in your house?
Oh, yeah.
How we kind of get creeped out about that. Now imagine if that spider were like half your size. Imagine that. Like that's an even bigger
It's
threat,
terrifying.
which is
And if this house is
terrifying.
in Australia, you're screwed.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, yep.
They're like kaiju.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I spent
yeah.
so much time looking at the household map. I was just like,
It's a
oh, this
beautiful map.
place. Yeah.
Yeah. There's just so much to love about this setting, and yeah, I'm so glad that we got to feature it on the show. I will tell you that I kind of did the whole Elizabeth character a little bit up more than it is in the quick start, just because I thought that was funny and
It was fantastic.
It definitely does not in the quick start does not go that gung ho on the romance part of the relationship between her and Darcy. There's some sort of unspoken attraction there, but it's not quite as put on like I was putting on during the session. So I did kind of embellish that a little bit. So I hope that wasn't too obnoxious. Had you gone to Darcy's office, he would have told you to go to the stables, and that I think he kind of I think you would have all eventually got to where you needed to be anyway, which is good. Yeah, it's definitely a quick start scenario. It's nice that we did it in just under 2 hours. So if you wanted to play this as a one shot, you could, and not take all afternoon. Not that you couldn't go further if you wanted to with the scenario. You definitely could. But
well, I like a Hungry Ewok's comment: backyard adventures. Imagine Honey, I Shrunk the Kids kind of adventure.
Yep,
that would be amazing.
Hungry Ewok also says, how could there not be romance between Darcy and Elizabeth? Yeah, I mean,
so true.
It just seemed natural, so I kind of went with it. Yeah. Anyway, if you enjoyed the session, hit the like button down below. If you haven't checked out the PDF and you would like to go download the quick start, and if you love that, think about picking it up in Drive Through RPG. I think that there is an affiliate link down there, so if you click on it, I get a little bit of kickback on that, but it's not really about this. It's more about trying to get people playing this game and playing in this setting, because I think it definitely needs to be played more, because there's a lot of, you can tell there's just a lot of love and a lot of thought that gets put into these books, and I just want to keep encouraging that, because I think that I want more. I know that there's a volume 1. I would love to see volume 2, volume 3 come out, years from now. So I think that this has potential to just keep growing and growing for Two Little Mice. So, all right, I think that's going to do it for this session. I want to thank Josh. Thank you so much for being Josh-like and Turbo-like. I appreciate it.
Always, man.
Katie, thank you so much for hopping on and being a part tonight. You were amazing as always. I loved having you on here tonight. It was so great. Thank you for throwing Tubo under the bus when things got kind of hot.
Any character of Josh's, I'm happy to throw under a bus.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm here for.
You can take it.
And
I can take it.
Thank you so much for playing Hannah. You did an amazing job as well, and I'm so glad that we got to feature all of the three of you in this show. And I'm going to tell you that if you guys want to plug anything that y'all do, Josh, I know you've got a YouTube channel. Do you want to plug that?
Yeah, you can find my videos at Halloweenville here on YouTube, and I'm also on VCG. Tons.
Absolutely. And Katie and Em, would you like to plug where folks can find you more of as well?
Yeah, absolutely. You can go to our blog, www.level1geek.com, where we talk about how to get into this wonderful hobby of role-playing games. I know that it looks very intimidating when you pick up a book and it's 100 pages and you don't know what to do, but you can start at level 1. We all did, and it is a time filled with much joy and creativity and adventure. So all of our links are there. Join us. We love it.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. All right. That's going to do it for this session. Again, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you as part of our VCG community because we do these sessions on a regular basis. And sometimes I just post videos of thoughts and things that pop in my head. And sometimes I have interviews and all sorts of other things that pop up on this channel. So appreciate everybody that tuned in tonight and anybody that's watched all the way through this part. You guys, we do these sessions for you, and hopefully you enjoyed it as well as we enjoyed playing it. Remember, winning shouldn't be the only victory condition when you get to the table. We will see you next time. Bye. I just want to say thank you again for consuming this content. I really have a passion for creating content and an extreme gratefulness for being able to have a small part in helping tabletop designers, creators make their projects a reality. There's something really, really special about that. And if you'd like to support us more, you can check out our Patreon. We have all sorts of perks, and I have a $10 a month RPG book club where I send you 2 signed RPG books a year. Feel free to check that out. But mostly, I'd love it if you hit that subscribe or follow, whatever platform you're on. It is extremely, extremely humbling, and I appreciate it so much. Thanks so much.